for this video, you should have your tile and a pencil, and this is the paper that I passed out before we left to go remote. So this is a thicker piece of watercolor paper. If you do not have this piece of paper, try to find something thicker since we are going to be using watercolor on this eventually. So with your tile, I'm just using pencil. You are going to be tracing this over and over to create a tessellation. So a tessellation is basically just a pattern repeated over and over with no spaces in between. So what I'm going to do, it doesn't matter how you set this up. So I could have my tessellation at an angle and trace that and keep tracing it. It doesn't matter. I could flip it, do it reverse, have it go up. Regardless, it's going to fit together. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start it from the corner. It's easiest if you start from a corner. And this is, you'll see why it was important to have a thicker piece of paper to trace. So with my pencil, I'm just going to trace the outer edge of my tessellation tile. You want to use good craftsmanship. I'm not drawing super dark because eventually we're going to be filling these in with watercolor. We don't want the pencil marks to be the focal point. Okay, so I traced that. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're just going to slide it over, line it up as best you can. It's not going to be perfect, but I want you to try to make it as close as you can. You'll notice as you keep going, as you keep working, it gets a little more off every time, but that's okay. And then I'll trace that again. Okay, so then I have my second traced one. I'm going to go all the way all over this paper. So I'm going to fill the entire page. If it comes down like this one, they usually naturally kind of work their way down. So if this isn't perfectly straight across, it's okay. But you want to make sure, like if it starts heading down, you will have to finish off the design up here. So you'd have to line it up as if it were to, let me think, as if it were to, you know, go off the page here. So I'd have to draw a line off the page, if that makes sense. So you're going to do that on this entire page, and then I will show you what you're going to do with watercolor and color schemes.